And we're like, hey, we're looking for Rebecca. Have you seen her?
Don't say hunting down. Don't say it like that.
I know. It was kind of like that though, right?
Okay.
Is this the episode Tanner atones for his sins?
Yeah, that's what this
There, boom, launch it off with a bang. Yeah. So guys, I'm atoning for my sins. I listened to some of the podcasts of your and I listened to my voice and how I sounded just 2 years ago and the things that I said, and it was delightfully filled with cringe. Actually, no, excruciatingly filled with cringe. For other people, they might find delight in how cringy it is, but I was just listening to it, and I couldn't think, Tanner, no. I could not think, like, this is... My voice sounded weird, too. Obviously, everyone, reacts to hearing their voice differently, and, some are, like, negative, like, do I really sound like that? But it's like, do I really sound like that? Do people really listen to me like that? Do I really say things like that? It was not fun. So, shout out to the brave listeners of the Experience podcast that made it through some of those tougher episodes and are now seasoned veterans coming out on the other side. So, that's all I gotta say for, some of our experience heads. Thank you. And if you're an experienced head, longtime listener, leave an audio comment. We love to hear this. We listen to every single one without fail. So.
This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
And that someone else is me, a classic voice on the podcast. A co-host, Daniel would say.
I never said
he
that.
Would hesitate. A co-host, he would hesitate to say.
I would hesitate to say that.
He would hesitate. He would say it, but he'd hesitate.
Well, I've been pitching a Tanner spinoff, and you've consistently declined. So, I mean, this is a two-way street here.
That's true. I could be my own host, The Tanner experience. Who would want to listen to that? Especially after that intro, where I'm like, I hate listening to myself. But yeah, so let's just jump into it.
You went back to the previous episodes you were on, or you hit the ones that we talked about the last time you were on?
I think last time I was on, I was like, I'll give myself homework. I'll go ahead and listen to the ones on Tanner's listening list of fond memories and the stories about them. And I listened to some of them, and they're just it was pretty cringy. I guess that's kind of just listening to a younger version of yourself and being like, oh. And I'm sure everyone does that to an extent, but it's like that was hard.
Sure. But usually that's like, oh, you're listening to like 10, 15 years ago of yourself. You're talking about like last year.
Maybe like 2 years. The one's from 2 years ago. Like 2022. 2022. I'm not counting like the ones from like November 2022. Those don't count. Even though that was probably a year and a half ago.
Was it 2019? 2018?
Yeah, holy crap. It was 2019, huh? 5 years of the Experience podcast.
We started in the summer. So I know we started in the summer. So,
you started in 2019, right?
Well, I don't remember exactly which date. I mean, you can look that up and see whenever it. So even though
yeah, go ahead.
We switched. It should show the upload date on the website. So,
but it doesn't. But sometime this year we'll have our 5-year anniversary.
We're coming up. We're 6 episodes away. This is 294. We're 6 episodes away from 300.
So is there going to be a 300 episode / 5-year spectacular?
I don't know. What are we going to do? I mean, we have to figure out.
We need a spin-off. We need to have we need to spin off into when watching a lot of Smosh games. We need to have like a digital board game night where we act as characters or we try to have comedic situations or do improv. We need a theme. That's where I'm going with this.
Is Smosh Games still a thing? But
Yeah, I've been watching more Smosh recently. Yeah, like there's Smosh Games. They're just yeah. But point is, I think we should do something like that. It might change the format, right? Because it might have a visual component. And would that be problematic? You think? You think we'd lose viewers on that one, or would people tune in and turn up for the 300th episode if we put it exclusively on YouTube?
exclusively on YouTube.
Right, because you need a video component.
We could so obviously we could still upload the audio. We have never done a video format for this show.
Right, it could be something different for the 300th episode.
It could. That's going to be a lot to render. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's a huge amount of like storage space.
We wouldn't really be able to edit out any parts. If Tanner, again, we're talking about old Tanner. If you can revert back to old Tanner, I can't do anything about that. We're not. I mean, like, I guess I could edit it down, but probably would.
No. And that's precisely why this episode is going to be called Tanner Atones.
Okay.
Because I'm atoning right now. I'm getting the atonement out of the way.
Yeah.
So, I've atoned, right? Is that all it takes? Is that easy? You have to say I've atoned?
You just establish it. You make a statement.
My statement. I'm sorry to the people who have listened to the Experience podcast with me on it. It was pretty cringe. I said some cringe things. My voice is a little cringe. And so to the people and communities impacted by my words and tone, I'm sorry. And I mean this from the truly the bottom of my heart. I'm getting therapy and I'm taking a less cringe course to become less cringe. How's that? That was my PR team. My PR team helped me write that one.
I'm sure they did.
Next, I'm gonna have a comedy special called Uncancelable, Uncringeable. Okay, so is that? Am I good? I'm on tone, right?
Typically, your voice do you not like? I mean, we've had plenty of people comment that they appreciate your voice. So
I don't know. It's just it sounds weird, man. It's like, I really sound like that. I think I sound. It's not that I sound cool in my head. I don't. I just don't sound. I don't sound as cool as I think I sound when I hear myself. Does that make sense?
How would you like to sound? What's your ideal voice?
I think I'm just a little too like frenetic and impassioned. I need to be like a little bit more detached, a little bit cooler. I think my voice it sounds deeper to me, but when I hear it back, it's not that deep. Like to me, it just sounds deeper, but I don't think it is. It's like it's mid-range. I'd say your voice is deeper than mine, but I feel like I sound like in my head when I'm just talking like right now, I sound way deeper. But I'm gonna hear this audio back, and it's gonna be like my voice is just pitched way higher than yours. I don't know. What do you think when you hear your own voice? I just think mine sounds much higher and a little bit. I don't know. I just kind of talk weird. It's a weird. This isn't just me like being like, oh, I really sound like that. Like I've never heard myself, but yeah, you don't often listen to yourself unless you're really vain, or like a musician.
I mean, I have to listen to it when I edit the podcast, so.
So yeah, so how do you feel? Almost 300 episodes, 294 episodes of like editing and listening to your voice, and how do you feel like you don't have to atone for that?
It's it's just snippets. I mean, I'm not like listening to long stretches. I really just have to listen to the first, 5 minutes or so to figure out where to put in the theme song. But I don't know. I feel like I don't have a strong opinion on my voice. Honestly, I think I sound deeper than I think I. No, sorry. I actually sound deeper than I think I do.
So in your head, the voice in your head is a little bit higher.
Yeah, maybe marginally. Although I think I've grown used to it at this point. That was like, let's say 300 episodes ago, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. At the point, like I've grown used to it doing, editing the show once a week for the last 5 years. So
With no breaks.
we
He's impressive. He's a man with drive, and that's why they're gonna at the streaming awards. I've actually submitted a nomination for us for most episodes of a podcast. We're getting there. We're like top 100.
took a break. We took a break one summer. We were like every other. We went every other week for like 2 months. I think like until the second summer that we did this. I actually, and you can go back and listen to it. Some of those are like repurposed podcasts from a different podcast I did a few years before then. So.
Oh, really? So what was that podcast?
That was.
Like, this is something in high school or early?
It was in like early college, I would call it. We didn't do that many episodes. I think we did like 15 to 20. It might still be linked on my YouTube channel. I don't know. Maybe not. It was called Fantasy and Friends. So it was
That's a good name.
It's kind of an inside joke because so there were 3 of us. One of them was a computer science. I guess he still is a computer science major, and he took a class. I don't know how familiar you are with the computer science classes at Georgia Tech, but the class was basically Java and Friends, is what I called it, because it was like, which one was it? It was like not like the first class you take in the
1331 or 1332.
No, it was
1301 is the easier one.
Yeah, 1332. I think it was second, third class you would take. It was basically I called it Java and Friends because it was like mostly Java and then some other stuff. So I was like, oh, it's Java. And so we call it Fantasy and Friends, where we talked the first half of each podcast, we talked about fantasy baseball, because that's what we were all kind of doing together. Mm-hmm. And then the second half was just kind of whatever. That was the and Friends part. So it was a special topic. So some episodes were, I'm trying to remember what we talked about. Sometimes it was like a movie that came out. Sometimes it was like something more scientific or whatever, I think we did like an AI episode, maybe something like that. Anyway, but I repurposed a lot of I took out the fantasy part because that wasn't the fantasy baseball stuff because that wasn't really relevant. But I took that second half and I made those
stitched a couple together.
No, I just left it because it was like 20 minutes or so each one. That part, the second half was like 20 minutes. So I was like, okay, that'll be I just needed to get something through that summer that we took like a couple months off. Mm-hmm. Recording live episodes, so I just put those up because I had those, audio files still on. So,
who were the people you recorded with? Do I know them?
I don't think you met any of them. I don't know any. I'm trying to think of someone like a common guest, but I don't think there were any. So yeah, that was a little more structured. We did some games.
Like, what do you mean? You just talked about the fantasy games, or you played Mafia?
No, no, not really. I mean, we had like a little a baseball trivia segment. Those guys, the 2 guys did it with, I'm still pretty friendly with, and we still do actually, we haven't talked. The league hasn't been activated this year, but we've been doing fantasy baseball for the last, I don't know, since the league has been going on for a month. One of the guys that the podcast with myself, we joined later because we had just met the other person who had been doing it, with his high school friends, I think. So, but my involvement in the league started second year in college, and since then we've been doing it. We did it every year except for 2020. We didn't do it that year because the baseball season got
It was a little weird, yeah.
Huh?
But you still keep in touch with them?
Yeah, we took, like I said, we do advanced baseball every year. I mean, that's 6 months. Baseball season is 6 months. So that's
so maybe like baseball season's going to start again. Guys, podcast, early predictions, early season. Right? Like invite them on. Talk about the fantasy experience.
I just talked to one of them because I had some questions about AI that we're trying to do with work. And so one of the computer science guy was like, this is the because he does like machine learning research now at Berkeley. I was like, this is the best guy I know for this. So.
Oh, nice. You're getting subject matter experts.
Well, it's like when you go to tech. I mean, I'm sure you get friends. You're like, oh, I got a friend who does this, a friend who does,
And then you can lean on them for knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I know someone who's like a genius at like, industrial engineering type stuff. And then if Noah's not available, I have to go to Tanner.
Yeah, exactly. He hasn't gone to me yet, folks. That just means Noah's always available.
Yes, it's a nice broad major because you can kind of do a bunch of different things, but I haven't had a need to talk to you about anything like that.
No, for someone who works with a bunch of processes, and I'm sure there's a couple of industrial engineers at where you work. Oh wait, did you get a new job?
I got a new job. I think
that's right. Did we talk about it? I think maybe.
I don't even know if there are industrial engineers. There's a bunch of civil engineers where I work for some reason.
It's not still within the plant, right?
What?
Within the plant?
No, I work for the government now, the federal government.
Oh, that's right. And you said you're in Maryland now?
Yeah.
Right?
We my address on air.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, nice. He's back in Maryland, his home state.
It's not really. I guess it is.
Right? Oh, okay. Well,
wasn't it like I didn't try to get a job in Maryland? I guess is the point I'm making. It's more of a coincidence that I ended up back up in Maryland.
Do you have any military secrets you can talk about? Like, what were you using AI? What were you trying to use AI in your federal position for?
I don't do military stuff.
That's a relief. Can you talk about it, or is it like kind of
the AI stuff? I can talk generally about it. We're just trying to use AI for like We're just trying to use AI at work. That's really
like in general. Like, how do we?
Yeah, in general. But like, how can we use AI other than just like helping us write emails? Like.
Yeah.
So this is like a very like casual project. Like, it's more just like my supervisor came to me and he's like, hey, just think about this for the next couple of weeks and come back to me if you get any ideas. Because the agency overall is going to start implementing it, but like right now, my supervisor just kind of, I guess, wants to get ahead of it and see if we can start now because things in the government take a long time to get going. So like they're just starting to think about using it right now. It's March, and they said we're not going to get like full access until November. So it's kind of
like ChatGPT on your work laptop or whatever. So,
partnering with Microsoft for their AI, Microsoft, what's called, which is basically ChatGPT.
What you say, Copilot?
Yeah, that's what Microsoft's AI chatbot is. Which is
specifically for like Microsoft products, though. I thought that's what Copilot was for. Like in a Word document, you can open up.
Well, you can go on the browser. You can go in your browser and just go to it. It works. I think. Yeah, you can use it in browser. I don't know if you have to use Microsoft Edge, but if you go to Edge and in the search bar, there's like a use Copilot, and then you can ask it to do stuff. It's basically, like Microsoft. Do they own 50% of ChatGPT? It's the ChatGPT or OpenAI or whatever. It's whatever they have like so many different parent companies, and I don't understand completely the corporate structure of ChatGPT's ownership, but Microsoft owns a pretty big stake in it. Is the point? So I think there's some. I don't have any sources here. I'm just assuming that there's some overlap there in the technology, but. Yeah.
So like it is nice to be proceeding with caution because I feel like and I've seen it. I'm not gonna like badmouth, but we're not supposed to use like ChatGPT at work, and people still do, right? And it's like it uses what you put in as like training data for future responses, right? So you don't want to feed it proprietary information, right? Because then you get in a whole legal ownership battle of like, if I type in a problem I have at work and it gives me back code, like whose property is that, right? Like, and I don't know, it's just kind of a dangerous game, and there just is kind of a lack. There's not a lack of education as well. It's not a lack of education. It's I don't know how to put it. It's like a dystopian. Give me. Oh, this is amazing. This works now. I'm just going to use it. I don't know how to. It's like a Black Mirror episode. It's like, guys, you got to be careful about what you're putting in. Like, don't just copy and paste like your code and ask it to fix it. Like that's not good, right? Don't try to give it an idea of what you're working on and doing for if it's private, But I think there are people that are just like, what's the harm? And maybe I'm a little bit too overcautious, but like I think it's better safe than sorry. You don't want to, because I think the odds of getting in trouble for it are small, like really really small. But like I don't know. I just still don't. I see people using it in probably ways that are not risk-free, and I'm like, that's cringe. And it's kind of like Black Mirror, where people are like using it, and you have the main protagonist who's like, no, you guys can't use this newfangled technology, even though it's clearly, solving an inconvenience and helpful. There's a unseen negative side effect, but maybe I'm just the kind of the doomsayer. But maybe more people need more education. But I feel like some of it is also kind of common sense. Like, if you're using it, you just gotta kind of know. I don't know. Maybe they should broadcast that more. If you use ChatGPT, they can and will use your responses and or use what you prompt and the responses generated and how you react to those responses. They use that, so I don't know. I do like using it. I think it is definitely the future. Like you can safely use generative AI to build code in safe ways in your own environment, in a way that keeps it insulated. But people kind of just rushed and started doing kind of unsafe things. I'm just like, I don't know. It feels like I'm like a doomer. Like where I'm like, that's just a sign of the times. People are all about instant satisfaction. I don't know. I feel like the weird protagonist of Black Mirror episode when it comes to AI and Gen AI. What do you think? Like, obviously, I know the government is going to proceed just because the government they drag their feet on everything, and every government job is just layers of bureaucracy, as you can maybe attest to. But maybe it's a smart feet dragging there. I don't know. What do you think? That was my ramble. Speech over. Ramble over.
They haven't really banned any use of it, as far as I know. But they do say, I mean, you have to be careful with, like you said, proprietary information. You can't just put.
I know some idiot is going to put an Excel document or something, or copy and paste a couple cells of like some private PII. Somewhere someone is doing something with like, or they're putting their revenue data in or something, compute this or something, or give me a interesting insight. Thinking, I just got an insight, but like, I don't know. I just be careful with kind of sensitive data, because it's just like those old what's the right term? Cautionary tales about using the internet. Once it's on there, it's on there for good. You know, once you upload something and hit submit, it gets stored somewhere. So that's my rant. But I do like using it. I do think it makes, you know, our jobs easier.
For our listeners, keep in mind Tanner has used AI on this podcast plenty of times before.
Yeah, I use, you know,
full episodes about it.
Yeah, no, I'm comfortable using it. You know, and I also, even though we have our own, I won't talk about that. This is the end of rants over. End of rants over.
Tanner,
The point is, it's helpful. I like it, but people need to be smarter than they are with it.
I do have a reveal. I do have a twist.
Yes.
This whole podcast, your voice recording, my voice recording, has all been AI. It's a complete thing. We used actually an AI program to mimic our voices, and this whole thing has been AI.
That'd be a really cool project, though. Have an AI generated episode where you just download the transcripts and you train it on how our voices sound, and it's just you should just start using AI instead of like old episodes of Fantasy and Friends. Just use AI. That's what you should have done. Well, I know in 2020 or whatever, it wasn't that developed, but I'm sure we could probably get give me a couple weeks and I could get an AI episode. Old Tanner, train it on old Tanner data.
You say we have plenty of audio samples online,
right? Almost 300 episodes of audio samples, 300 episodes, 30 minutes on average, maybe. We'll say, what is that, 9,000 minutes? Right?
Yeah.
So that's a lot.
I don't know how many. 30, 40? I don't know how many. So.
Several hours of audio. So if someone wants to make an audio comment using my voice, actually don't give permission. Please actually don't do that. Don't. Oh wait, or am I now being a hypocrite? Like, because our voices is out there, they're out there, and people can just use them to, oh my God, fake Tanner. Wow.
Well, that's a whole debate. What is it available? What are they allowed to do?
I don't think. Yeah, we can't stop someone from downloading this clip and training. That's a little scary. It's a good thing we trust our listeners, right, Daniel?
Sure. Yeah.
Because that's happened. People, from Instagram clips, like they'll call their hackers will call their grandmothers or something with their kid's voice. Have you heard that? Be like, "Hi, it's me, Tanner. Grandma, I need money."
Yeah. No, that's the new hack, because you can hear the new scam.
Right, because all that, I imagine there can probably be a pretty convincing Tanner, and it might work on my grandma.
I've heard the way to combat that is have a code word or something like that. Like, hey, if I'm ever in trouble, I will use this code word. I'll say banana, and that way it's actually me and it's not AI or something. So
yeah, we're at the point where I have to use banana as a code word. Like, what has this world come to?
Sorry, whatever fruit you desire.
See, it is scary, huh? It's scary. You gotta have code words now. I gotta be cautious about the amount of training data there is on my voice. It's just a lot. Well, now I'm in full paranoid mode. It's like Monday. I'm anxious. Got the rest of the work week ahead of me. I'm like, God, look at all this training data, right? There's, hours and hours, 15 hours. That's enough to get, I say a pretty convincing Tanner model. I'm not an expert, though.
I mean, are you, no offense, Tanner, please don't take any offense to this, but Are you a desirable target? Who's actually going out there to make an artificial Tanner voice.
No, good point. And maybe it would be cool if I did that myself using this training data, and I made myself sing like songs. Have you seen like Joe Biden sings, All Star by Shrek or something? You know those ones?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I
I
like
haven't seen
those.
that. People talk about it, and I've seen people show other people video clips of it.
Maybe I can do that. And then I wonder how easy. I'm gonna look into the feasibility of that, and if it's like very easy. How do I get the raw data? Maybe Daniel, can you upload? I don't know. Do you still have all the files saved?
I mean, you can go find.
Like
You can go to
the
the.
.wav. Can you download them from any website?
We can have the podcasts from any website. Whatever you want to listen on.
You can download it though.
From Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever. You can just be able to download them.
Oh, I guess you could do YouTube to MP3.
Yeah, you can do sketchy stuff like that.
Like, how would you recommend downloading the podcast?
I don't know.
Like, maybe could you give me the WAV files? How big are they typically?
They're MP3s and they're not small.
How
they're
big
like,
would you say?
I don't know. They're on my other computer. I can find it for you. I don't have all of them though. Because I had to delete some for storage space. I don't remember. Well, actually, I might actually have all of them. The ones I had to delete might be on Google Drive. I have a lot of the earlier ones on Google Drive, very easily accessible. But your best bet is probably just to download the YouTube video and convert it, honestly.
Dang. Okay. Well, let me see how easy it is to get. What song would you say? I'm going to challenge my range a little bit.
I don't know.
How to get AI. Oh, I'm going to ask AI. Hold on. There we go. ChatGPT. I'm going to ask ChatGPT how can I make AI generated singing?
And then, next time you're on, do it.
And I'll play it. Yeah, I'll figure out how to play it.
We'll play it. We'll play it
Like
on
trying to choose AI tools. Okay, let's see. Let's see which ones it recommends. OpenAI's Jukebox. I think that's the one people use.
It's a whole separate sub app within
OpenAI. Yeah, Jukebox is the one. Oh my god, unseen it. Wow. Explore all samples. So then, let's see. How do I do this? Do I have to get my own API key? I wonder.
You'll have to upload the audio sample just used. You'll have to edit down a podcast.
Yeah, I'd have to. Yeah, clip stuff. That's good.
It's good. Give you something to do. Give you something to work on. Every time you come on here, you're getting homework, which is
Right.
good. Tanner. Busy.
Frank Sinatra sings Gangnam Style. That's good. There's something there. That's music. That's art.
That's
Yeah, Tanner sings Gangnam Style. That'd be good.
Oh boy.
But yeah, apparently that'd be epic. I gotta figure out how to do that. Then we're in business.
We'll start an AI karaoke.
Yeah, competition.
Yeah.
You code. Wow, you just go to the GitHub, sampling from scratch, prompt with your own music. Interesting. This might be kind of fun. I'm getting into this. I'll look into it and see the feasibility. See if it's easy.
Yeah. How easily this will be, or how easy it'll be for us. I don't even know who else would even participate in that.
I like how I'm just like, oh, I'm in a Black Mirror episode and I hate it, and now I'm like, ooh, this could be fun. Tanner sings Gangnam Style.
Yeah. You don't want to use it to make productivity better. You want to use it so you could.
Yeah.
Tanner
Wait, I'm so stupid. Why would I train it on myself? This is so stupid. Why wouldn't I just try to sing Gangnam Style? Like, it's my actual voice. Why am I trying to? I can make you sing Gangnam Style. Like what? Yeah, there we go. I just now realized the power. There's no, what's the point of me faking, me singing a song? I can just sing it. Me as Tanner. I have full dominion. It's the power, right? Like I can make you sing. What's the most embarrassing song you could sing, Daniel?
I don't know what an embarrassing song.
Let me ask ChatGPT. What is the most embarrassing? And then I have blackmail. Song, my friend Daniel.
For our listeners, this is how scams get created.
Baby Barbie girl. It's Raining Men. Never Gonna Give You Up, and I'm Too Sexy, and YMCA. So, what if I had you sing I'm a Barbie Girl? How would that make you feel? Like if I played an audio clip, just without your, your consent, most important. Just kidding. That sounds really bad. I wouldn't do that. And I'm just now realizing it's like you can just. It's more fun to make it less personal. Like yeah, Joe Biden and Donald Trump are more fun. They don't know. They don't really care. But yeah, you can really blackmail Daniel. This is really hitting me hard. I'm getting hit with the moral ramifications here.
Well,
getting devastated.
How does this blackmail even work? What do you,
Daniel? If you don't give me $50, I will leak this clip of you very convincingly singing "Barbie Girl" by Aqua.
But then, like, what leak it? How? Like, what?
I will put it on YouTube.
Put it on YouTube and it'll get no views?
I'll promote it. I'll spend $1,000 on click farm bots to promote it.
Just $50 for me.
Wait, you're right. Just to spend the marketing. The marketing is crazy. And I'll tell you that's something really convincing. Like I just blackmailed my friend $50 so that I could fund the click farms to get this video promoted. That would be something, right?
The first place.
That's a good idea. No?
Well, I don't know if you fully thought that through, but yeah, maybe.
Or I wonder if I can write my own original song and it can sing it. Is that a thing? That probably seems too hard.
Why don't you just ask AI to write it?
Ask AI to write it. Well, that's what I do a lot. I'm like, can you give me a musical number in the style or referencing The Good Doctor? The one that I'm a surgeon. That one, like those, or give me a rap about Bimby Bop in the style of Eminem. Those are literally my most recent ChatGPTs. I like to see if it can, like what it does with when it tries to write songs. It's not very good. So my prompt was, can you generate a Broadway musical song lyrics about the show The Good Doctor to the tune of G Officer Krupke from West Side Story? And it tried. And I'm not going to sing it. I'm not going to put it in the chat, but it's pretty cringe. ChatGPT still got a long way to go. Like, this is unbearable. But yeah, I now realize the dangers of having stuff on the internet is that scenario could happen. Someone could blackmail me and be like, here's you singing Barbie Girl and YMCA. How embarrassed? I can't be embarrassed like that. Obviously, I know, you know.
You would probably love it. You would probably.
I would be like, that was really great and convincing. I will pay you $50 so I can have that video. Thank you.
You'd pay money for the clickbait box.
Exactly. Not to get out. I'd pay it to get out.
Yeah.
Like, here's $50 in Click Farm, Series A funding. Go get this thing out on the people need to hear about this. Yeah. Okay, well, that's a little, not a great take on AI.
Well, we've come full circle. Tanner, is there anything else you wanted to talk about today? Anything else? It doesn't have to be about AI. It could be anything.
No, I think that's it for me.
All right. Well, you can go ahead and wrap up the show. That's your job, I guess.
Well, thank you so much for listening, everyone. And follow us on our social media handles.
You don't know what those are.
I don't know what those are. You're right. I didn't think anyone would make it this far. Guys, if you're still listening, please leave an audio comment. We listen to all of them.